Welcome back to the shed build part 2. If you missed the first one, go back and watch it. That's where I made all the cuts on these boards and I started setting up the pallets. Today we're going to try to move along a little further and see what we could get done this week. I do have a little update on the metal roofing I was hoping to get. That kind of fell through, so I'm going to have to keep searching around for some roofing. That is crazy expensive at Home Depot. I'm going to try to find something on Facebook Marketplace way cheaper. So these are my end caps that are going to be on my pallets. I'm going to attach my 4x4s to. So right now I'm just trying to mark out the lines where I could drill the holes for my lag bolts to go through. So I figured it's 3 foot wide, my pallets. So I'm coming in 8 inches and make a line. And I figure 8 inches there, 8 inches over here. There's my firewood. That'll be dead in the center. Let's just get us a line on that. Now what I kind of figured out, I'm bringing the 4x4 down 5 inches. But my holes, I'm going to do, what did I say, 1.25 inches. For the top one, and 3 5/8 on the bottom hole. 2 of these end caps, I'm going same thing, 8 inches in from the sides, but I'm also going to go 2.5 inches down from the top, and I'm going to drill 1 hole, and this is going to lock together my 2 pallets if it all goes well. So just mark my lines. Now come down my 2.5 inches. Little center punch. Try to guide the drill bit. I'm drilling out the end cap with the single holes on the side with a 1/2 inch bit. That'll give me some wiggle room with my 3/8 lag bolt. So now that'll give me some wiggle room when I'm trying to join these 2 together. I don't know if I need to drill them all out 1/2 inch. I'm gonna drill the other ones out 3/8 to match this. Hopefully that won't come back to bite me in the butt. All right, I'm going with a 3/8 bit on these. But I also tried to look at my wood, find out which side I wanted up top, which ugly side I want where you can't see it. 2 more to go. Then I got some 4x4s. I need to pre-drill for the lag bolts. Already got 1 painted. Looking pretty good. Just wanted to get a little coat on it to protect it in the long run. I still have this one over here I'm about to knock out. Then I still have to get these leveled and set in place. And I know you're not supposed to paint pressure treated wood so soon, but I need to paint these 4 boards that will be in between. I won't be able to get to them later. I'm only painting 1 side. I'm just throwing a quick coat of paint on it, like I said, to help protect it. I found use the brush in between here. I just got an old cheapo brush. Try to hit these spots, and then I'll go back with the roller and hit up the middles. See, hook it up like that, and I'll just run back over it with the roller. just keep on rocking down the line. Try to saturate the nail holes that are on the edge. The ones in the middle I really don't care about because they will be covered up. But these ones on the edge, I definitely want to get some saturation. Get that paint all down in there. Let it do its thing. So I figure these edges is where it's going to get the most weather. Am I overdoing it for a woodshed? Probably. But is it going to look good as I have it in my mind? I hope so. Now I'm going to let this dry overnight. Then tomorrow I'm going to get out here and hopefully get these leveled up. Start putting them together. So right now though, I'm going to go over here and start drilling pilot holes in the 4x4s. So they'll be ready to go. So why don't y'all come along with me to the shed, or the workshop, or gator shop. I'm taking advantage while I got some shade over here this morning. I'm drilling some pilot holes in these 4x4 posts for my lag bolts so it don't split out the ends. I'm using a, I forget what it is, 15/64 drill bit, and get this knocked out. I'm gonna have to go back with my handheld drill, finish the last little bit, because I haven't marked the depth I need, but my drill press only goes so far. Just something got to do. And I got me some blocks set up just to try to keep it level, because this is kind of heavy to hold up. I have my 2 pilot holes on this side. 4 posts. I need to also drill a pilot hole in the center, but on the opposite side. And that'll be used to link together my 2 pallets. So, figure out my measurements, flip it over. We need to come over 1 3/4. And then come up 2 1/2. Like this little punch just gives you a good little starting point in your wood for your drill bit to grab and go through so it don't wander. So let's drill this hole, and then we got 3 more to do. 3 more to go. I went ahead and got my router out. I have a 1/2 inch round over bit. It might be a little overkill, but I'm gonna knock these corners down. Figure that'll save any chip out over the years from throwing firewood in and out. It might just look a little better from having an ordinary 4x4 post. Is it overkill? Could be. But hey, it's your woodshed. Build it how you want. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better. Then eventually when it dries out, I get some paint on it. It's going to be all right. Now I'll flip it over and do the other side. And while I have it up here, I went ahead and took my drill so I could finish drilling out the holes that my drill press wasn't deep enough to get. And it's like to mark out where my 2x4 is going to sit, so I kind of know where to stop. Final one to do. Think that looks good. Now I'm just going to run some 80 grit sandpaper over it just to knock off any little rough spots or chip outs. Then they're done. You can see all the rough spots from the routing. So I'm just sanding them down with some 80 grit just to knock the fuzz off and smooth it out a little bit. I know I'm over here in the shadows, but the sun's about to pop around the tree. It's a little cold start this morning. It was in the high 40s. Had to bust out the flannel, but it's going to warm up to the high 60s a little later, so that'd be all right. Well, let's get this sanded up and get the pallets put together. I got all 12 boards sanded down, rounded the corners off. So much smoother now. I'm going to go ahead and get these end caps put on. Then I could start leveling these out. The other day somebody had an idea that these gray bricks kind of stood out a whole lot with the brown paint I got going on here. So they had a good idea. I should paint the bricks and make it look a lot better. Well, that was a bunch of bricks to paint. Now let's try to get this together. I have my 2x8 end caps. I went ahead and did some pilot holes so I didn't split out the ends when I put in my screws. I have my 3/8 lag bolt holes. And I went ahead and went back and drilled the top to 1/2 inch. Give me a little wiggle room when I get my 4x4 rails set up on here. I got my pallet. I leveled it out real quick, just temporary, so I can get these set into place. Then I'm just going back, drilling in a couple more holes. Hopefully this should be durable enough to hold everything together. And that seems solid. I'm getting these leveled up. And of course, there's always one setback after another. You see how, I don't know how good it'll show out in these shadows here, but you can see how unlevel the ground is. I am 7 bricks high in the back here, and that's just too tall. So I had some cinder blocks over by the shed, and what I did, I cut them down, and it'd be the perfect length. So that'll save me 14 bricks in one spot. So I need to paint those and put those there, there, might put one there. But this is what I've been doing, just cutting the ends off, and then with this lined up end to end, that's perfect. 24 inches, the same size as my stepping stones over here, too wide. So let me get to painting these, then I have to wait for them to dry before I can get back to it. Thanks for checking out part 2 of the woodshed build. And I'm sorry things are not finished by now. I know, I thought I would have been done. But I guess, me adding on stuff like rounding corners and painting bricks, it just slows down the process a bunch. And building 2 at once don't help either. But we got the brick situation and figuring out, I had the cinder blocks, so I figured out I could cut those down and make that work. That helped out a lot. So I will save a bunch of bricks there. But stay tuned for part 3. We will get these things finished, I guarantee it. Till then, y'all have a great week, and I'll catch you on the next episode.